there! Today's video is going to be one of my favorite recipes, as well as something that I got highly requested after posting pictures of it on Instagram. We're going to be doing the pizza cake. So I will be providing a recipe for homemade pizza dough. You can choose to make just a regular pizza, or you can make the pizza cake that I will be doing. Let's get what we need. So the ingredients will be listed down below in the description box, so if you want to write them down, you can easily see them there. So first off, we're going to start by adding our 4.5 cups of flour, yeast, and salt into a large bowl and mix that well. Now to our flour, we're going to add our oil and water to this, and then we're going to give it a good mix. Once it's holding itself together, pour the mixture out onto a work surface, and we're going to knead it until it's smooth. This is where that extra cup of flour will come in handy. We're going to slowly add that to this mixture while we're kneading. Once you're done kneading your dough and you notice that it's springy and firm, we're going to let it proof by adding it to a bowl that is lightly oiled. Just put this aside in a warm area and let it rise for at least an hour and a half. Or if you're going to use it the next day, you can let it sit overnight in your fridge. Once your dough has had plenty of time to rise, we're just going to pour it out of the bowl, and we're going to degas it a little bit before we start cutting out our dough balls for this pizza cake. Here you can see I rolled it long ways so that I could cut out equal size balls for this. I ended up cutting bit by bit, rolling them up a little bit, and then I'm going to place them aside to let them proof a little more, and I'm just going to use a plastic saran wrap to cover them. You can always use a towel as well to cover them if you want. Just let them sit for about an hour just to let them double in size before we start using them. Now while that dough is proofing, I'm going to be covering my cake pans with some virgin olive oil. I definitely recommend that you use olive oil for this, as it will make the dough taste really good when it bakes. Now to roll out our dough. So for this, I will be using a cookie cutter that is about the same size as the cake pan. This will fit perfectly in, and I'm going to be baking these individual circles before we start stacking. I will bake it at 425 degrees between 10 to 12 minutes, or until you notice it start to get golden brown. If you want to make 2 of these pizza cakes, I recommend cutting out 6 circles in total, so it's going to be 3 and 3 for each one. Or if you just want to do one large one, get about 3 circles and just make it a little bigger and find a bigger cake pan. And here are my 6 circles that I'm going to bake. Now we're going to roll out the large piece that we will be using as the base of this pizza cake. So I got my cake pan and I'm just rolling this dough out, and I'm just going to be placing it in here just to cover the bottom of this cake pan, and then we're going to add our layers in here once we are done with that. Now starts the fun part where we start stacking this. So I'm going to be starting with some pizza sauce. I'm going to put a thin layer here, and then I'm going to be using some cheese and pepperoni. We're just keeping this super simple. So I'll pour in my cheese in here, and then I'm going to be using a mixture of mini pepperonis as well as large pepperonis. So for this size of cake pan, I was able to use 2 layers of my dough. So I will be able to make about 3 of these in total. As you can see, once you're done with one layer, just place that extra dough circle in there and then start layering again. You can always add more ingredients if you want to this, but for this video, we're just doing it super simple. Once you're done stacking all your layers, this will again bake at 425 degrees for about 20 to 30 minutes, depending on your oven. You want this to get golden brown as well. And once you get your top layer here, you're just going to get your toppings on there, and we're going to just roll up the edges a little bit so it's not hanging over. Just compact this as much as possible and then just place it in the oven and let it bake. And here is the mini pizza cake. As you can see, I cut one open so you can see the layers inside, as well as here's this whole one. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to suggest something else, leave a comment down below. If you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button so you can keep up to date with all the videos that I post. And until next time, stay sweet.